Hello, everybody. Oh, I missed you. Welcome to Lunch with Linda. I'm Linda Daniels, and you are now inside Northampton Wolves. I did not have a live last Monday because of that really horrific storm that we had. It's been a long time since we've had such a long snowstorm that then turned into ice. And if you saw the Facebook or Instagram post, there were many, many branches of a very old, very big pine tree that is along the side of our driveway that came down and literally blocked the driveway from being able to go in or out. Fortunately, we didn't suffer any damage, although one branch did come very close to hitting the house, but everything else was fine. And by the end of the day, we were able to clean up. But as many of you that are from this area know, the entire area was buried in thick ice, and it's still unfortunately hard to get around, especially here in Northampton. Many of the parking meters are blocked with very big snow piles that are now covered in ice. And in fact, the other night when my husband picked us up, someone came in front of our car and slipped and went right down, right in front of the car. It was pretty scary. So be careful still. Even though today and for the next couple of days we're going to get a nice warm up and things are melting, there's still so much ice on the ground that you need to be really careful.
I saw some workers today on my drive-in on Con Street,
Chopping away.
chopping and clearing it with like a bulldozer.
Yeah, that's what you need.
So
It's not plowable.
They're working on it.
Yeah, so just be careful, and that's just a quickie. So anyway, I did not come into work, needless to say, last week, and decided to not even do a live. We just snuggled in and tried to dig out as best we could and take care of business from home. So I'm glad to be back. Of course, we were back in the store on Wednesday, and it was a very busy, very exciting week because it is the end of February, the last week of February, which means that we have gotten a lot of new cottons in, which I'm going to tell you about in a little bit. But I first wanted to tell you a little story from our week in Northampton Wolves. It's been just about a year since the emotional support chicken, this guy, literally took over Ravelry. And every single person, I think, on earth, it felt like, was making a chicken. If you have not, there's plenty of time, and you really should. And I want to tell you why. We've seen a little die down, and we can measure that because not many people have been in lately looking for the eyes for the chickens. But they're still really popular. You open up Ravelry, and the pattern is still almost always on the first page. We've got 2 chickens underneath the table where they have a nice little nest, and we leave them there. And the other day I was behind the island helping a customer, and Mariana was behind the desk ready to help people, and a man came in with 2 young girls, his daughters, probably 7 and 5. And as I'm behind the island, I can't see them, but I can sort of hear a little discussion going on between one of the girls, the 7-year-old, and her father, and it starts to get kind of whiny. You know, but I want it. I really like it. I need to have it. And Dad is trying really hard to say, we're not doing that now. That belongs to the store. We're not going to get it now. And it's starting to escalate. And I know many of you feel the same. I don't need a 7-year-old bursting into tears in the store. So what we usually do when that thing starts to happen is I will come out and offer them a free sticker. It's one of the things that we have as a little extra. So I came back from behind the island, and I didn't know what she was talking about. And I was surprised to see her hugging the chicken and just saying, "It feels so good, Daddy. I need to have this chicken." And so I just very gently went up to her and said, your daddy's right. The chicken needs to stay here. I'm so happy that you love it. But what about a sticker? I'll trade you the chicken for a sticker. So I gave her the bowl of stickers for her to choose from, and gently she gave me the chicken back. I stuffed it back underneath the table. She's looking in the bowl and she says, "Never mind, there's no chickens in here either."
When she's so obsessed with chicken.
She has her heart set on chickens, and they left. The sister didn't even get a sticker. Dad says, "Okay, we're out of here." She put the chicken down. I'm gone.
Wow.
So I don't know what it is. You don't know what it is, but man, those chickens strike right at the heart. So make a chicken. It's spring. Easter's coming. If you need to fill an Easter basket for a kid, they're going to absolutely love a chicken. So don't give up on those at all. I just thought that was the cutest little thing that happened.
Precious.
So 2 weeks ago, I think, I showed you the Snap bags from Madeline Tosh that we got in with our Northampton Wools logo on them. And they have been selling nicely. But we got a tip from Gail, from one of our great knitting customers. And she has a couple of these because it's not new or exclusive to Northampton Wools. A lot of other places can get them too with their own logo on it. But she uses the bag like this. When she's working with more than one color, she can separate the balls between the snaps, and it keeps the strands of yarn in their own place and knit her color work like that. You can see there's plenty of room for the 2 balls of yarn, and those are full skeins, and you can knit away. So it's another way to use your Snap project bag. I've seen some people that have, and I'm guilty of this too, or I'm using it this way too, filling it up with tools. So you have your whole tool thing here, tape measure, scissors, all of that kind of fun stuff. But there's a lot of different ways to use it. I also just wanted to show off this really cute little a hot pad or like coffee mug rug that Catherine made for us that says "Go knit something." Thank you, Catherine.
That's so cool.
It's so adorable. And what she did was embroider on top of knitting like a cross stitch. So she didn't knit that in color-wise, but she embroidered on top of it. So I thought I'd share that with you guys because I love it. I think it's so darn cute. All right. So much. There's so much. It's too, when we don't meet for a week, so much happens. Okay, so Kate went to the Academy of Music on Sunday. They had their 3rd movie Sunday where people were invited to come and watch the movie. Of course, you'd have to pay admission. But bring your craft and craft while this week's movie was When Harry Met Sally. And they had a very good turnout this past Sunday. It's the trajectory that you want to see. The first Sunday when we were there, it was the first time they've ever done anything like that, and they had a pretty good turnout. The second Sunday was the storm, so I don't think they did a lot, but
I saw online.
yeah. And then yesterday was the last one and it was packed, Kate said. And that's really good to hear. They're very happy with it, and they're talking about doing it again, but next year. And so Kate and I were just talking and like, why wait?
Yeah.
We're going to send them a little message and say, hope you think about doing it, if not once a month, maybe once every 2 months, because it's an awful lot of fun. It doesn't have to be a 3-week thing. It can be 1 weekend a month where you are invited to bring your craft and craft there. This weekend they were supposed to have 3, but they had 2. Were both of them Smith students?
Yes.
Both of them were Smith students, in the art. That's not true.
No, they had very impressive majors, but they were part of the DTI,
which is, we've seen this happening at different colleges. Mount Holyoke, I think, has one too. They create we'll call it a craft room. It's a little bit more than that. It's design. They what?
They have their own little cabin.
Oh, they have a cabin up at Smith.
Yeah.
In Mount Holyoke, it's an old cafeteria that they
Oh.
room that they changed. But there are things like there, like in there, like a sewing machine, a draft table, ways for the students to be creative and crafty. And the two students that were at the movie this weekend were part of that program. Kate, what were they both showing since you saw them?
One was showing embroidery and tapestry crochet,
Oh,
and the other was showing different types of visible mending, like the Japanese lines.
yeah. So visible mending is what really caught both Kate's attention and mine because we do a lot of garment mending, sweater mending, and it's getting a little bit harder and harder to do as people bring us more than just their hand knits or big knits. There are a lot of really fine things, fine gauge things that come to us that are really hard to do invisibly. And so we're going to talk more about visible mending. It is becoming a big thing as the movement towards recycling, reusing, and saving garments, especially, grows. People are becoming more and more aware and more in tune with repairing and saving their garments. So you're going to be hearing more about that. Hold on one second. I need a tissue.
The Design Thinking Initiative.
The Design Thinking Initiative. Perfect.
We'll put it in show notes.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that I wanted to mention too was we've really been starting to try to keep up with show notes so that you can go back and see exactly what it is I talk about. The other day, Deb came in and she had a list, which was so great because she had watched the video, she had taken notes, and when she came in, she had the list of 3 of the things that I had talked about, and I was able to pull them up right away. I know I should remember, but there's so much going on that it is really hard even for me to remember 2 weeks ago exactly what it was I talked about. So if you jot a note down, it really helps. And will make the whole process a whole lot easier when you come in looking for a specific thing. So take notes or go back and watch the video after or look for, where do the show notes show up actually, on YouTube or Facebook?
On YouTube.
Okay.
There, the description of the video, and then it says more, ... You click more.
Click the more, and that will give you all of the things that we talked about in it. So we love having people come in looking for the things that we talk about. It really validates me doing this program, and we're really happy to help you, but it's a bit embarrassing for me to not remember what shawl I was talking about, just because there's so much, so much. Okay. There was okay. If you are not on Facebook or Instagram, and you are watching us on YouTube or go to YouTube, you will notice that yesterday I put up a video of Kate finishing one of the headbands that she makes. We've had a number of people ask us, because Kate, you have to show your face. Kate wears a headband like this almost every day. It helps her head stay warm and it keeps her hair out of her face. Yeah. All right, so we've had a number of people ask about it, and so she was ready to finish this one, and I said we need to make a video of this, and so we did. Kate spent a lot of time editing that video, and we posted it on Instagram. Thanks, Kate. On Friday. And I'm talking about it because by Friday night, I sent a message to Kate saying, I think something's happening with this video. And by Saturday, it was crazy with the number of views that we have gotten from this video and the number of brand new Instagram followers. We have, in this past weekend, because of this video, we have over 300 new followers. It's like, holy cow. When I checked just before we went live, this video on Instagram has over 83,000 views. Yeah, it's at 84 now. It's at 84 now. It just keeps going. So yesterday I put it on the YouTube channel because I know not everybody's on Instagram. But a lot of people, including my husband, watch YouTube on television, and maybe they'll see it there. And even then, I posted it yesterday morning, and by last night, there were over 800 views of it on YouTube alone. When I was talking to Jeff, my son, he said, "What was it? What's about it? What's the secret?" And there is no secret. Sometimes it just happens. And in the case of this video, everything about the video I think was right. It's short and sweet. It's only a minute and a half, but it takes the project basically from through the entire process of how to finish, how to actually make the headband and sew it. And Kate looks adorable at the end with it on. We're going to do more videos like that. Not with the intention of having that many views, but just because it seems like that when I looked through the 4 years, can you believe it? 4 years of this that we've been doing, a lot of the videos that have the most views are the instructional ones, the ones that have a little bit of how-to in them. So we're going to try and do a little bit more of that. But I wanted to put it on YouTube so that even more people could watch it. So if you are new to us, hello and welcome. And we love, love, love having you. And we're so excited about what this little video is doing. And just to put it in context, a really good video in the past has maybe hit 13,000. I think that was one of them.
Yeah.
Most of them average between, they might get up to 1,000. So this is big for us. This is really, it doesn't yet qualify as viral. No, we're not going viral, but for us, it really is. Okay, time to show you some new stuff. Did I say everything? I think I did. Okay.
I don't know. Eileen said that they can't hear me because I don't have the microphone.
Oh, that's right. Oh, the microphone shut you out.
Yeah.
Okay, there. We got in a bunch of new Wubbles. You know, Wubbles is something that we have carried for a while, but they make limited designs available to retailers. And they just came out with a whole bunch of them, and I bought them right up. This is the Shiba Inu. They did a little dog series this time. They also did Hugo the French Bulldog. I mean, it's crochet, round. And then they did, where is that golden? A Labrador. They did the yellow Labrador. They're very, very cute. And then they did a pink dinosaur. A pink, I don't know what's with the pink, but a turtle.
Valentine's maybe?
Maybe, although we're past that. Spring.
Love is important all year.
What a great Easter basket item these things are for that like 8 to 10 to 12-year-old. Although we've had like college students, we've heard from a lot of them that have learned to crochet with this. In fact, I've got 2 people in my crochet class up at the Hill that learned with a Wubbles kit first. So those are brand new, and it's always exciting to have new designs, especially if you want to gift it to somebody who's just starting out. Okay, that's one thing. I knit a hat out of one of the new wools that we have gotten in. This is one of the yarns that Rachel talked about. This is from Yarnster, and if you watched that video, she was really excited about the new Gusto colors. I brought one of them down, but they're right behind me. Let me see where. Right here are all of the colors, and this is one of them. And I knit the hat because it took just one skein, and it's a good sized hat with even a little bit of a slouch. Just a simple rib and stocking knit stitch hat. This is a superwash merino wool. It's not really soft. It's not itchy. I don't mean that. But it has kind of a dry feeling, which was a little bit of a surprise. And I think that might be the dye. Sometimes dye can really change the way a yarn feels. But it is a superwash. It's not itchy by any means. No. And even though I blocked it, I just wet it. I didn't actually like detergent wash it at all. But I wrote this pattern up and have that sized for one size smaller and one size larger than this one as well. So one skein of the new, what is this called? Aran. This is the Gusto Aran weight. Echoes Aran. That's what it's called. Great last minute project because we know it's February and we can feel spring right around the corner, but it's not going away that fast. I just wanted to quickly show you, some of you did the Fly by February, and this is what this Saturday's project looks like. These are a diagonal mitt, so the knitting is on the diagonal, and the top has a special closure. For those of you that did do the flyby, I'm going to do a video of this, how you actually finish this off, because it's a little bit tricky to figure out on your own, but those were really fun and quick to make, and we do have that pattern as well. Now, yippee, new cotton. This is a cotton and acrylic blend. It's 50-50, and the label says that it is a 50% anti-pilling acrylic. It is incredibly soft. You just want to make a t-shirt out of this and snuggle up in it. It is so incredibly soft. It's a worsted weight. They're calling for a size 7, 8, or 9 needle at that 4.5, wait a minute. Yeah, of 4 to 5 stitches to an inch. I did this little baby sweater this weekend out of just 2 skeins. This is adorable. We haven't put buttons on it yet, but there will be 3 buttons on it. And this is how much I had left over from the second skein. So this is a 0 to 6 month size, and the pattern is a free pattern on the Lion brand site. If you guys aren't familiar or don't use the Lion brand for patterns, you really should. They have upped their game over the years, and their patterns are really well designed and well written. You can get them for free. They want your email, of course, but this is the one that I used, and this one is sized from 0 to 6 months all the way up to 2 to 3 years. And of course, it's going to take more yarn if you make the bigger sizes. But quick to knit. Basically the body is done all in one piece. That means you have the fronts, the back, up to the underarm. Then it's divided. Literally, it took a couple of hours to make that little sweater. And the colors that this yarn comes in are just so springy. They're just perfect. Can you see them all? And these are not the same. One is lavender and one is blue. And then, of course, there is the green that I used that I didn't bring a skein over.
This is my favorite.
It is.
That's so chic.
I don't think the yardage on here is correct.
Oh.
I don't think it is, because that only took 2 skeins. It says there's only 109 yards, and it just didn't feel right to me. It felt like the skein was going much longer than that. I mean, I'm not gonna measure 109 yards.
Can you imagine?
I have other things to do. I know you are. But I'm not gonna do it. Okay? Maybe Kate will. That's what she was saying, that she might do it. But it felt like it was more than 109 yards. And here's the mind blower. It's $5 a skein. For $10, you can make a little baby sweater. And obviously with what's left over, you could make this probably the next size, the 6 to 12 months. Ridiculous.
Wow.
Ridiculous.
How?
I don't know, but we're not going to ask. We're just going to be really happy. And I wanted to get at least one thing done as quickly as possible out of it. I mean, look at that color.
Yeah.
And I really want to make a t-shirt out of it.
I'm making
really do.
I'm making a tank top out of this.
Beautiful. She's going to make a tank top out of it. We didn't realize that you couldn't hear Kate because the microphone is in there.
I'm
So
talking to nobody.
she's just yakking away. Okay. The other new cotton that we got in is called Coastline, and this is from Jody Long. We got 2 yarns like this. This is a 35% cotton, 28% viscose, 27% nylon, and 12% linen. So this is a cotton
Linen?
and linen blend. And when you hold this really close, you can see the marl effect of those colors. That's caused by the difference between the way cotton and linen take the dye. This also comes in some really fantastic colors. And I pulled out, ooh, this is a balancing act.
Time to juggle.
Put this yellow on top of the green. Whoa. Oh, well. Great, great colors. And this is a worsted weight on the slightly heavier side, 17 stitches to 4 inches, but you could push that too because it is a cotton. But when I was looking on Ravelry for some ideas, and I think it's going to look great like this. I love a stripe for spring and summer. And so I think I might have to rewrite this pattern a little bit because I think the pattern was 20 stitches to 4 inches. It might be a little bit thick for it, but I'm going to do a swatch of it and see. But I'm going to do something like this because I love when you see the colors on the shelf, which we'll turn in a second. They all look so, so fantastic, so bright, so very, very springy, and just the right thing for spring and summer. Easy to knit in the spring. Yeah, really pretty.
I'm hyper.
Would you have coffee?
No, I'm just so excited about all this yarn.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to ask Kate to turn because I can't fill the table up with everything that came in. But I want you to see all, because we've spent the whole week moving everything around and changing yarns out so that we put a lot of the wools away or downstairs. And we filled this front bin with cotton. So this is the Mystical Marl that I told you about. That's only $5. This is the Coastline. And then this one is the Artesia DK. This is the cotton and linen from Earth Yarns. This also has a very dry feel to it, but I think it needs to be washed, and in typical linen fashion, really needs to be machine washed to start to soften it up. This has 77% cotton and 23% linen. So again, you can see the different ways the two fibers take the dye. It really makes a difference. But look at all the colors that we got. By the way, it's every color that they make in that particular yarn. Then the Gianna, which is also a cotton and wool and cashmere. It's 80% cotton and then 15% wool and then 5% cashmere. This is beautiful.
That's fine. Hold the yarn up. Wow.
Really, really pretty. And then it's hand dyed with all of these great colors. Again, you probably can't see it too much, but there's a tiny bit, the cashmere makes a tiny bit of a halo on these colors, but these are so incredibly rich. Now, this is a fine gauge, although they're saying a 6 to a 7. That's pushing it, in my opinion. And a lot of times the yarn companies will do that because they want the yarn to bloom. That means they want you to put air between the stitches so that the yarn has a chance to express itself, to kind of fill out. So this is going to be gorgeous knit. What a beautiful scarf this will make for summertime. And then the trendsetter yarn that we got is Olay. We've already sold some of this, and I'll just grab a few of them. This is 90% cotton and 10% acrylic. And you're like, where's the acrylic? Why? Why did they put acrylic in? When you look closely at the skeins, you're going to see these tiny little shiny parts right there that look different than the rest of the fiber right there. That's where the acrylic comes in. It's not sparkly, but it's a tiny bit shiny. It adds a little, you can see it really well in this color. It adds a little pizzazz to that cotton. So it reflects the light differently than the cotton does. Yeah,
Almost
there's a
like
little bit right there.
almost
This
like
one has a
silk.
lot of it. It does, it reflects like silk. This is a great yarn and again, really, really soft. And this has 295 yards. It's basically going to take 2 skeins to make a tank top, 3 to make a short sleeve sweater, probably 4 to make a decent sized long sleeve sweater. But this is so much fun. And the colors in this are wild as well. And again, I got them all. This one comes to us from Cascade Yarns. This is a 50% cotton, 50% merino. And I bought this because it feels fantastic. And I thought the dye, the way it's spun, is so interesting with this color work. Now, I didn't bring it today, but I've made a cowl out of this. I want to send a great big heartfelt thank you to Cascade because they sent me enough skeins so that I can give every single person who's coming to the Cape on our retreat a free skein of yarn. And I will be giving them the cowl pattern there as well. So we have different colors to give away. So if you're not coming to the Cape, sorry, but the yarn is here. And those Cape people will be able to knit with it. It's really soft. And again, we're getting this pastel kind of colorway. Can you see it on the shelf? There's only one color that is sort of even on the darker side, but there's so much white blended in this yarn that it really tones everything down. But really beautiful. And again, one skein made a really big cowl. I'm just going to put them there, Kate, so we can put them away later. And then the one last cotton that I wanted you to see today is, oh, I see. I'm like, why are there 2 different names? There are 2 different names for the same yarn because one is dyed, colored, and one is, which one do they call vintage? And this is
This
degradé?
one's vintage.
Okay, vintage. It's sort of like a tie-dye look,
Yeah.
like the color to white, but then the regular gelato is multicolored. These are close to what we know as a t-shirt yarn. So it looks like a tube, a knit tube that's then blown into it. So it's going to knit very thick on a really big needle. You're going to be working on an 11 to 13. So all of these yarns came in. We got them all on the shelf and inventoried and priced. And now it means that I have to stop sleeping and just start knitting. Not start, but continue. So I'm going to work really hard to get as many models as possible done so that you'll be able to see what all of these beautiful yarns look like. And I think, I could be wrong, there might be 1 or 2 more coming, but I think we're pretty set. We had more yarn come in that went downstairs, which I'll talk about when I get a model done there. All right. Phew, be do. I think that's everything that I wanted to catch you all up on. It's still winter. It's still going to be winter. It's still knitting season as far as I'm concerned. So I hope I see you. Make your list. Come on in. Visit with us. But especially go knit something. Bye.